Yeah, well, good evening. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. I'm Milesy. I'll be hosting the show tonight. Claudio is away today. He'll be back later on, though. He is mixing it up a little bit with Doug King. So Jack and Claudio are at a meeting with Doug King. So we'll find out what that's all about a little bit later on. We've got a new guest coming on who has created a website called Take Me Home Highfield Road. It's Jim Marlowe. He's waiting in the wings to come and join us, talk about Tuesday's game. Then we've got Paul Langton coming on to talk about the Sunderland match this Saturday at the CBS. Looks like it's going to be a sellout again, so it's looking really, really good. And we're going to get a reaction to the defeat at Derby. What did Derby do better than us? Did Frank get the team and get the tactics completely wrong? What do we need to do to get over the line and get into the playoffs now with only 9 games to go? It is that close. Have we peaked too soon? Not like the first time we did it. We got in there last game of the season. Have we peaked too soon? Do you think the players can cope with the pressure? And is Saturday a must-win game, considering that it's going to be the international break and they're going to get 2 weeks off? So we've got all that to talk about tonight, plus Spot the Ball, and we've got a great prize to give away tonight with Spot the Ball. You're going to love it. Let's get Vicky in. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Miles. You all right?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I've recovered from Tuesday, so
yeah,
not
a couple
too
of
bad.
days. Yeah.
I've calmed down now. And here's Jim. Good evening, Jim. Your first night with us. How are you?
Hi, Miles. Good to see you.
Right.
Hi, Vicky. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
No worries. Loving the scarf in the background. Absolutely superb. So what we're going to do, before we go into Tuesday night's game, let's do Spot the Ball. Now, everyone's out there, they'll be watching, and they can have a guess. If you're on Spotify, you can't see the picture. But basically, this is Haji Wright having a shot against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light earlier on in the season. And I think this is when he got his injury, wasn't it, Vic?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So have a guess. There's 12 numbers on the screen, numbers 1 to 12. We'll come to you first, Vicky. Give us a guess.
I'll say number 9.
Number 9, okay.
And just to warn everybody, I never get it right, so don't say 9.
And Jim.
I'll go for number 10, Miles.
Number 10, okay. Number 10 and number 9. Okay, so get your guesses in, guys. Now, you're going to love the prize tonight. It's been donated by Jim. I'm going to show you now. Here you go. We've got this lovely scarf, retro scarf, and you can get these from takemehomehighfieldroad.com. And there's 3 different colours of these, but this is the colour you're going to get tonight. You've got a white background, you have a navy background, and a sky blue background. So you can win this scarf tonight as part of Spot the Ball. So come on, get your guesses in. Right then, let's get on to this game then, Tuesday night. Where do we start? Let's start with, shall we start with the reaction to the defeat, Victoria? I mean, what do you think about this defeat? I mean, was it a shock?
I don't know if it was a shock, really. I mean, we've been winning, but I don't think we've been playing particularly well. We said after the Stoke game, didn't we, that if we keep on playing like that, at some point we're going to come unstuck. And I think it was probably coming. And actually, it might have done us a favour. It might just be like that little kick we need to sort of like go again for the rest of the season. I mean, I don't know whether complacency was sitting in. I don't really know what the issue was, but it's just sort of felt that we were probably maybe sneaking some wins with a bit of luck, and we really just need to kick on and go again, really, I think.
I mean, we started off quite brightly, though, didn't we? I mean, we did look a way better team. I mean, that Derby's goal, the first goal, was I think it was their first shot on target. A bit like us against Stoke, really. It was our first shot on target when we scored. But I mean, when you look at it, the opening of the game, the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so, we were the better team, weren't we?
That's it. So I was sort of thinking, well, this is a bit better than Stoke. We've actually started quite well. And you're thinking, obviously, Derby, like bottom end of the table. So if we start well and sort of play well, we should be able to get a result here. But we didn't really create too much in that opening spell. And then as soon as they scored, we just seemed to fall apart. It was like it was just really weird. Just like all the energy seemed to just fade out of the team, and then a few players just had like really bad off days, and that doesn't help, does it? And so yeah, it just was a really weird. Because 1-0 down, if we'd have carried on playing like we'd started, there's nothing to say we could have got something from that game, is there? But we just an odd one. The energy just completely went, and it was a bit weird because Grimes kept on dropping further and further back. He spent so much of the game between Kitchen and Thomas, and you're just thinking you're not influencing the game from there. You need to get forward again. I don't know whether that was an instruction from Lampard or whether that just was part of the lack of energy within the team that he felt he had to drop back there. I don't know, but it was all just a bit of a strange performance. As soon as Derby had scored, it just you couldn't really see us get back into it, unfortunately, could you? And it was a bit like some of the games early on in the season away from home, especially where we didn't really turn up, and you're just thinking, I can't see us get back into this now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was one of those, wasn't it? You knew there was nothing coming out of that game. You knew that it was all over. Jim, we'll come to you about Derby, but before we get your views on the game, tell us a little bit, how did your love come for Sky Blues in the first place?
It happened a couple of years before we won the cup, so around about 1985. So started going up around about then, and just fell in love with it. Really, we'd go to reserve games as well in the week, in the main stand, and we'd go to games on a Saturday. Combination of West Terrace, Sky Blue stand, Sky Blue Terrace, and Spy and Cop. We started off in the Cop most of it, but then we went on to the West Terrace after that. Followed them home and away, really. Pretty much all the home games when I could. That was our beloved Highfield Road years.
And is that, I mean, we'll talk about your website later, but is that where you got your inspiration from for this website? Yeah,
it is. It's. I think it's like all of us, really. It's a fondness for our Highfield Road years, and feeling like, although we've really improved, haven't we, at the CBS in terms of attendance and the atmosphere and everything. We've made it our own now. I think for me that the worst thing we ever did really was probably leaving Highfield Road. It was a big sadness. And we had many ups and downs there, many happy times there, great atmosphere, right in the centre of the city. All the pubs around the area as well. You could walk there from town. It was part of my inspiration. Yeah, it was that sort of connection to our stadium, really. It's that we'll never forget and we'll always love.
Yeah, well, we'll get some of your memories. We'll get some of your memories later, and especially we were talking about that shirt you're wearing behind the scenes. Absolutely, class shirt, original as well. So, what did you make to Tuesday after the current form that we were on? 9 wins out of 10 going into this game against Derby. What did you make to it?
I think that Lampard's run has been a bit of a surprise to everyone, really. I think when we lost Robbins, there was lots of people that probably thought it was the wrong idea that he'd left, and so we never expected this kind of run and this kind of improvement. So it's been an amazing run for Lampard, and hopefully it was just a blip. I mean, they seem very organised, and as has happened quite a few times this season, mostly at the start of the season, quite a few defensive errors as well. We switch off. And I think we've got a bit of a history of doing well against the really good teams and then struggling against the big, strong, well-organised teams, down the bottom end, like Preston until recently. I think it was hopefully just a blip and they were a little bit tired. And hopefully, like Vicky said, it's just a bit of a wake-up call for them in terms of getting back on it, really, because we've got a tough run now with Sunderland, Burnley and Sheffield United coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a tough run. I mean, this, the run in after the international break. I mean, Tuesday, what I was disappointed about, I think, was the lack of energy. I think there wasn't as much desire there. That we started off okay, but then we didn't really look like we had a grip of the game. Now, I don't know if the pitch played a part in this, because I'm not being funny. The pitch was flipping awful. absolutely dreadful, that the condition of the pitch, considering ours isn't the best, but our pitch rolls flat. So even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of grass, especially when you're up high in your seat, look down, the ball does roll on our pitch very, very well. I thought that pitch on Tuesday night was very, very poor for a Championship side. And I think you're looking at Sheffield Wednesday, they're another team that's got a very poor pitch as well. And, I don't know if that played a lot of part in it, but if it was heavy under their feet, they gave it their all last weekend to beat Stoke. And then Tuesday night came a little bit too soon. Maybe it would have been better if we were playing on the Wednesday. I don't know. That extra day's rest might have done us good. I think for me as well is that losing Rodoni has been a big key, and EMC, I think that really played a big part in the game on Tuesday night. I mean, EMC has just been phenomenal, hasn't he? And, Haji Wright, it's not his fault. He's just come back from injury. He's not match fit. And we know what sort of player he is. And when he's out, when EMC's out, that you're going to put Haji in that position. And I just think that he wasn't ready for that. He definitely wasn't ready for that. And maybe, would it have been the right time to maybe change formation, Vicky?
We did talk about that on Sunday, didn't we? Whether or not it's always difficult with Haji Wright. He obviously needs to play because he needs some minutes. But we also know that he is the sort of player that he's either on it or he isn't. And so there's a combination of match fitness, and there's also just a combination that he's prone to games like that, even when he's fit, isn't he, unfortunately? So you never entirely know. It's just difficult. I suppose the difficulty is we've lost EMC and Rodoni, and that gives us two different options of playing, and we've lost both of those now. And so it's sort of trying to stumble through that until they're both fit again, isn't it, really? I think losing both of those just takes a lot of the creativity and the energy out of the team, and that's a problem. Because as soon as the EMC came on, it made a bit of a difference, didn't it? But unfortunately, it was a bit late then. And I think I didn't agree with all the subs. I thought he got some of the subs wrong. I think it took too long to take Bidwell off, and I just think some of the subs were wrong, and so the energy came on, but then there weren't the right players on the pitch to sort of deal with that. So it was one of those things. I think, unfortunately, it was a catalogue of just bad performances across the board and sort of bad mistakes. And sometimes you have to take that on the chin, don't you, and hope it was a one-off, and we draw a line under it and move on. I mean, we've had that, haven't we, in previous seasons, like when we lost 6-2 to Yeovil in the season we got promoted. I mean, it's not like these things are... we're prone to this, aren't we? We like to throw in a bad performance every now and again, so and then go on and do okay. So hopefully it's just one of those.
I think the season we got into the playoffs, I think we got beat. Was it 4-0 by Stoke? Wasn't it that season?
Yeah. So we've got it in, haven't we? Unfortunately.
yeah, and I think every team has, unless you are at the top and right at the top of your game. Right, before we carry on, let's get Spot the Ball up again, guys. You can have a go on this. Spot the Ball this evening. Vicky and Jim have had a little go on the old Spot the Ball. Guess where it is? So if you are listening on Spotify, sorry you can't see the picture, but it's Haji Wright having a shot. Sunderland against Sunderland in was it November, wasn't it? October, November, I think. November, yeah. Numbers 1 to 12. Have a guess where you think the ball is. Even if you are listening on Spotify, you can still have a guess, and you never know, you might get it right randomly, and you can win this prize tonight if I can get it off the screen. There we go. There you go. So you can win one of these lovely scarves donated by Jim, who's on the screen now, who's got his own website called TakeMeHomeHighfieldRoad.com. Head over and you can order those scarves. Now, don't forget as well, next Thursday, 20th of March, we've got Marco Morosi joining us. Oh, yes, we have. So come and join us next Thursday. Now, if you want notifications to tell you when it's going live, just head over to YouTube. Click a thumbs up for tonight, please. Let's get some thumbs up on the screen. Let's also get you a subscription on there, and that will tell you when we are going live and what time and everything else. And it gives you all the updates and everything else on there. Now, this week, I did get asked last week by a guest who was commenting. He looked at the membership. So there's a little membership we do now, and you get special emojis for when you're commenting. It's $1.99 a month now. and there's also a $4.99 a month. Now there's two different ones. One, you just get the emojis. The other one, you get the emojis, you get stickers, and you also get discount and exclusive first dibs at the interviews of the History podcast. And we're still waiting on news on a date for Matty Godden, but Matty Godden will be joining us. Trust me. I want to say a big thank you as well to everyone that come and spoke to us at Derby. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much for coming up to us in the concourse and having a little chat with us. It was great to catch up with you, and Fads and Radoni were there as well. Right, before we go on to the next subject, then let's get a few comments in. I've got my work cut out tonight, I know that. I've got to go up the screen here. Let's start from the top. Blimey, there's loads. There's nearly 100 already. There's a foreign one in here. I ain't going to even announce that one. Right, Paul Cuttiford's come on. He says, after a poor performance on Tuesday, I have no doubt our front strikers need sorting out and moving on. Vicky, get ready for this. Simms just runs around, I know, but does nothing else. Have you seen his attempts at jumping? I thought I better just make you ready for that one. Jordan Williams, evening guys, great to meet you all on Tuesday night. It was great to meet you too, Jordan. Jordan's going to come on actually. He's going to come on over the next few weeks. He's going to come and have a little chat with us. I'm off to perform at the new Speakeasy in Leamington tonight. So you all keep me company afterwards when I catch up. Great show as always. Oh, where's that then? I live in Leamington. I don't even know where that is. Where's that? Off of Mercia. Lots of possession Tuesday night, guys, but felt we moved the ball too slowly. Not panicking, but tempo needs to lift when pressing the opposition. Yep. Please excuse me, by the way, if I do mess up some of these comments. I am a little bit slow at reading. Micky, Wright should not have started against Derby. He looks miles off being match fit. Simms was ineffective as usual. His scoring record is appalling given that he has a regular starter recently. Well, he has been a regular starter recently. Get my teeth in. Good evening.
4 goals in 13 games, Miles, in that regular period.
Yeah, that's not enough, is it?
I don't think 1 and 3 is not too bad, is it? I mean, it could be better, but I think to start off, so that's something to build on.
A couple more would be nice, wouldn't it, Vic? Just a couple more, just make it 1 every 2 or whatever. I won't read all the good evenings out and howdies. Let's go to this one. Mark Patman. Evening all. I thought Bidwell had a poor game on Tuesday night at Derby, and Wright was miles off the pace. We looked tired, to be honest. I hope we get things right on Saturday against the Mackhams. Yeah, I think we all do, to be honest. Paul's come in again. He said the Black Cats will again come and try and spoil the party, but I think we should at least get a draw. Top half sides we work well against, bottom half not so good. Yeah, that's true. I'm worried about these teams below us because Derby were really up for it the other night. Rich T, Tuesday night just seemed like an early season performance, but we can't complain too much given recent run of results. No, we can't complain. I was going to ask actually if anyone's watching tonight and you got a reason to be cheerful, as BBC CWR say 5 reasons to be cheerful. I don't want to do 5. Let's put something up there that we've got to be cheerful about tonight, please. Let's have a little conversation going. What makes you cheerful today and for the build up to Saturday as well? It'd be great. Hector, still really gutted after Tuesday's performance. We didn't get going at all. Little of possession, but no way to break a low block. Bristol, what's this one? Gal 87. Bristol seemed to be going unnoticed and climbing well. Didn't they draw the other night though? Didn't they draw?
I think so. But they are sneaking up there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're doing what we did the season we got in there, aren't they? Assassins Unite, evening all. If you look at the stats, 70% possession, more shots and off target and clearly over the line cross for the second goal. You could make an argument, but ultimately we had an off day. Yes, we did have an off day. And look, we're going to have an off day. Look, I go to work, I have an off day. I'm sure Jim and Vicky, you go to work, you have an off day. You know, I don't want to be here today, forget this, I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? So, you know, they're wholly human. And as I say, I reckon that Stoke game took a little bit more out of them than we all thought. Mickey says, Derby wanted it more and worked much harder than City. Well, they're fighting, aren't they? And this is the worry I've got. Okay, people say we've got the easier running, but yeah, it's not an easy running, not in this league anyway. We all know that. Liam was. Hi all. Just a blip. I hope. Thought we'd already won it on the coach on the way over. Minds will have been focused and our response will come in a tough game on Saturday. I have faith. I'm looking forward to Saturday. I think that they'll raise the game, won't they? Lee Beckett, Claudio trying to get cucumber added to the prawn sandwiches. We've already got that. No, there's a meeting tonight, and we should hear all about it a little bit later on. Doug Boland, evening all. What a difference a few days makes from the total utopia. I was meant to say Euphoria. Sorry. See what I mean? I'm dyslexic. Euphoria of 27,000 Sky Blue Army going mental after Bobby's goal to watching a drab, underwhelming performance on Tuesday night. Aaron Thomas, poor performance Tuesday night. Wright should not have started. Can someone please teach Simms how to jump and head of the ball? Simms' league record at the club in the league is 19 goals in 80 games. Not good enough. Wow, look. We don't want to have a Simms night, please. We've had it before. We don't want to have a Simms night. All the players were off on Tuesday night, not just Simms. All the players. Steve Curry. If we beat Sardines. What's that? Sunderland.
Is there another message to follow? I don't know whether he sent that too quick, maybe.
I'll have a look, see if he's done it. Dave Sports Photos. Unlike 2023, this has never felt like a playoff team. People say it's the sign of a good team to play badly and win, but we never play well, do we? We need a couple of statement performances. Well, we've got Sunderland and then we've got Sheffield United. There's two games we can really go for it. Brian Tully in Coventry. Let's see Tuesday as a rest. Miles, I shouted you guys out on Hills FM last Friday, Miles. I've DM'd you my answer, Miles. Oh, for spot the ball. Oh, put it on here, Brian, if you can. Put it on here because Vicky's making a note. Doug Boland, it doesn't matter where the ball is. Haji is offside as usual. Right, we'll get back to some more comments in a moment. Let's go on to... Right. Okay, so, Jim, we'll come to you. Why do you think... where are we? Why did you think Derby were better than us on the night? What did they do you think, that really sort of teed them up to beat us? Or was it just we were poor?
Yeah, I think a bit of a combination. I think we were poor and we were off it, but they did some of the things that we've started to do in our great run, which is work really hard, be more aggressive, have that game management. So I think early on in the season we didn't have that. We'd often play well and then end up losing a game or drawing a game when we had a lot of possession. So I think they just wanted it more. They were physical, they were organised, and they defended really well. And a few mistakes from our side as well, and heads dropped. But I'm trying not to be too negative because I think some of the things that we saw earlier on in the season in terms of heads dropping, not really playing very well, getting outfought and outplayed. I think there's been a big improvement there with them working hard, being a bit more aggressive, managing games better. So hopefully it was just a blip, but I think it was a combination of the things that have been mentioned really, Miles, by yourselves and other people. Maybe a bit of tiredness, maybe the pitch, they were organised and they wanted it more, and we just had an off night and made mistakes. I think we just need to get that mentality back, really, that we've been showing over the last 10 or 11 games. Saturday.
Vicky, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Jim's right, really. I think Derby were very organised, weren't they? They were very disciplined throughout the whole game, and they wanted it more. They played well. All the players in the Derby team did their job, and we didn't do that. So they fought and got themselves the right to win the game, and we didn't do that. And I thought we dropped back to some of our bad habits. Like the team, what we found in recent weeks, we've spoken about quite a lot on the show, about how when we break, we all break as a big team. So you've normally got like sort of 6 or 7 people around the box, lots of options. It was a very destructive. There was like massive gaps from midfield to like Simms and then back to defence. So we didn't really play as a very good unit until probably F1 came on. And so just a lot of those things that we've been doing better in the Frank, we just didn't do. And Derby did everything better. And so, I mean, it's one of those things you just got to say, hands up, they deserve the result, really, didn't they? I don't think we can argue with that, really.
So do you think you got... Go on, Jim.
Sorry, Miles. Yeah, just wondering there, Vicky, do you think that's maybe related to the absence of Rodoni in terms of him being more forward-thinking, passing forward? Because I remember when we lost Hamer and O'Hare, I remember thinking that we lacked that creativity in midfield, and there was often massive gap between centre halves and forwards, and lots of sideways passing, and nobody actually taking control going forward. And I think that was maybe because Rodoni wasn't there.
Listen, I mean, I think Sakamoto probably tried a bit. He probably was one player that came out with a reasonable amount of credit, I think, and he did try, but you can only do so much on your own, and the rest of your teammates are really off the game, aren't they? And I think you're right. Rodoni's a massive miss for us. That energy and forward-thinking play, and I mean, we know from his assists and goals what a contribution he makes to the team. So it's a massive gap.
I mean, you know, tactically wise, then we got it completely wrong, I think. Do you? I mean, like you were saying, Tats tried to give it all he could give it, and as you said, we just really wasn't like we weren't getting those bodies in the box. So did we tactically get this wrong then on Tuesday? Does he like go to the drawing board today and you know, because obviously they'll have yesterday off, they have Wednesdays off, so today they'll be in, he'll be re-looking at it and saying, you know, video wise, because they're not going to do much training, are they? Do you think his tactics were way off it on Tuesday, Vic?
I wonder how much it's his tactics and how much it was just the players having an off game, because a lot of the things that look like we were probably set up to play that we have been playing. Well, there was a few occasions when Simms had the ball to lay off to somebody, and in recent weeks it'd be like Rodoni, Eccles, Torp, whoever was sort of playing that role there to lay off to, and for whatever reason there was like no one. So a lot of the play we did was sort of similar, but it just wasn't working because players weren't necessarily doing their role. So I don't know whether it was that the tactics were wrong, or it just was that players weren't on their game, and so they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, really. So, and I guess if it's that, then they'll just be talking about that, won't he? And hopefully giving them a bit of a kick to say, look, this is, you've seen what you need to do to win games, and if you don't do it, this is what happens. Because it does seem very much with Frank that he's all about winning the games, isn't it? I think that we will have to put up with the fact that it won't always be about the performance, because he's all about the result, isn't he? He's said that in quite a few press conferences. So it's often about doing the job right and getting the job done, as opposed to necessarily being like the most exciting team to watch. And I think that just came unstuck on Tuesday, unfortunately. Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about being in the playoffs a bit later on. We're going to get our Sunderland fan on very, very soon. Paul, he's waiting in the wings, so we'll talk about it in just a sec. Before we do, let's get Spot the Ball up again. Here you go, guys. Have a little go. If you are listening on Spotify on repeat, there's Haji Wright having a shot against Sunderland back in November, and there's 12 footballs on the screen somewhere. Well, there's one ball underneath a load of dots that have got 1 to 12 on it. Have a little guess. Be a bit of fun, actually, not seeing the picture. Just guess 1 to 12 where it is. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
How will I do? That's what I should do.
We've got Jim at the bottom of the screen. He's joining us. He's from Take Me Home, Highfield Road. If you want one of these lovely scarves, you can win one this evening. I have one right here. I will show you straight away. You can win one of these scarves tonight. There you go. There's 3 different colours with the patches. They've got navy blues, white, and then a sky blue one. So if you don't win, you can head over and get one. And please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And you can join as a member now. You can join as members. Head over and you can like and subscribe. And just want to say, thank you to Gower87. He's just become a member. It starts from $1.99, goes up to $4.99, and you get loads of little emojis and stuff. I hope they're going to work because I'm working on it this week. You watch them probably won't work now. I'll have to adjust them. And if you've forgotten all about it, head over to our YouTube channel or Sky Blue History Podcast. Listen to it on Spotify, or you can watch it on YouTube on our channel. David Cross from 1973-76, absolute brilliant interview. There was no history podcast this week because obviously we had Derby. If you haven't already, get your tickets for Micky Quinn, hosted by us. Yes, Sky Blue Fans TV are hosting this night. It was great Tuesday because I was stood with Chris Baker, who's organised all this, and he's absolutely buzzing. He lost his job on Tuesday, bless him, and he was gutted, but he was so chuffed because this is selling like hotcakes. So head over to the Walsgrave Working Men's Club on Facebook. You've got the link in our YouTube description for the tickets for this. £10, Friday the 2nd of May. We've got a quiz and a raffle, and you get to meet Micky Quinn, and it's his birthday. There you go. So there you are. And if you don't already know, if you're coming down to Plymouth on the Saturday and the Sunday, please come and see us 7:30 live from in the bar in the Moxie Hotel. I have rang them. They said we can use the facilities, and we'll be doing a live stream from inside the Moxie Hotel. Come and join us, and then after, we're going out for a few beers. And if you're down there on the Saturday night, why not give us a message? Come and join us. We'll let you know where we are. So there you go. Right, should we get Paul in then? Let's have a little chat about Sunderland. So let me get my questions ready. Right, here we go then. Let's get Paul in. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. You're good friends with our Claudio, I hear.
I am, yeah. I've spoken to him many times over the years. The fortunes of our teams. Good and bad. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's get this bit out of the way first. There's become a real rivalry between these two teams, hasn't there?
There has, yeah. I think it's kind of eased off a little bit over the last couple of seasons. I mean, it got a bit vociferous when we were in the League One days, but I think it's kind of, yeah, it's calmed down a little bit. I mean, it was all a bit nonsense, to be honest. It got well out of hand with social media comments and, you know, shouldn't have got as out of hand the way it did, to be honest. It's a long time ago, the nonsense.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a long time, and it's water under a bridge, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I say, a lot of I think the younger elements of the fan base kind of picked up on it, and carried the torch that way. A lot of us oldies, I say us. I'm not putting this down as oldies, but the older generation who can actually remember the events of 1977. You know, I mean, we played each other many times through the 80s and the 90s without any kind of daftness at all. I mean, I've been to Highfield Road many times. I've been to the CBS, and you know, without any kind of intimidation, without any antagonism or anything, you know, or unpleasant chanting as there has been. So yeah, it's a social media thing, but I think thankfully it for me anyway, it does seem to be calming down a little. I mean, there was no incidents as far as I'm aware of at the Stadium of Light earlier this season. Certainly nothing that was publicised and made the news. So that's a good thing. And I don't think there was anything last season either.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that things are calming.
Now, I mean, look, there could be a prospect here that we could either play you in the playoff semis, or we could even play you in the final.
Yeah,
I mean, have any Sunderland fans been talking about this?
Oh yeah, very much so. So as you have climbed the league, it's been talked about a lot, shall we say? I think it's mainly because we never beat yous. We never get the better of yous. Just when it looks like we're going to, we don't. I mean, the league game before Christmas, we were 2-0 up and coasting. And I'm standing having a pint at half time, talking to my son, thinking, this is the moment we'll beat Coventry after all these years. And it didn't happen. Coventry changed things and came back really well. So, on the subject of which, the spot the ball, I think it's number 12, because I sit right behind that goal and I can remember the goal well. So
okay, number 12. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you actually. Thank you for jumping in on that, because you could win this scarf, and then you know what?
I'll donate it to charity.
No. If you win this scarf, you got to wear it in the home end.
Oh, lad.
Take a picture of you wearing it.
I'll tell you what. If that happens, I'll wear it and send you a picture.
Brilliant.
Right, you've won it.
Oh no! That's it. But I'll wear it when I go dog walking. And nobody can see us at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was really interesting what Jim was on about, that how Coventry have struggled against teams lower down the league, the physical, stronger teams that play a low block. Because we've had exactly the same this season. I mean, Plymouth have took 4 points off us. And the other night, Preston were the same. They employed a low block with 10-man defence. And, it's hard to break down. Sunderland kind of try to play a possession game, and we don't move the ball very quickly. And it's very frustrating against these teams. And then we've dropped a lot of daft points to teams in the bottom half of the table, whereas playing better when teams try and open the game up, So I'm quite looking forward to an entertaining game Saturday, because I expect Coventry to come out and give it a real go, particularly after the game the other night, where you were saying the derby game. We were frustrated against Preston. We dropped points again at home, so we've got a bit of a point to prove as well.
I think Derby have took 6 points off us this season. So the thing for me is, it's like you say, when we're playing teams like Sunderland and teams that want to play football, it's quite entertaining. Even Stoke, they didn't put 10 men behind the ball. Stoke sort of gave it a real good go.
Stoke's been one of the most entertaining teams we've played this season. They give it a real go in both games. They beat us down there, so was tough.
Yeah,
but again, you're right. I think I can see Bristol City coming on strong. They're one of the better teams we've played again this season, and we've got them in about 4 weeks' time, I think, after the international breakdown at Ashton Gate. That's a tough game, tough place to go. I can see them sneaking in.
Long trip as well for you guys. Not as long as going to Plymouth, but a long trip.
Yeah, Plymouth's a slog and a half. I've done that a couple of times.
What's that about?
It's marathon.
10, 11 hours round trip?
It's when I used to go to more away games back in the 80s, and what we used to tend to do is leave about midnight from Sunderland and travel through the night. So you're getting into Plymouth kind of 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, which, there was one day we played them on a Sunday at about 87, 88-ish. So there's literally nothing to do in Plymouth at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. It was one of the worst days. We won the game, if I remember rightly, but wandering about looking for a breakfast bar, a little coffee or something where we'll get something to eat. But yeah, marathons. Most away trips from Sunderland are a bit of a marathon, to be honest, apart from Middlesbrough. So.
Yeah, I can imagine it. I can definitely imagine that travelling down. It's a it's a trek for us going to Plymouth, and we're halfway down the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard work for us. So looking at your team then this weekend, I mean, you say you drew midweek. What sort of team do you think Sunderland are going to put out against the Sky Blues this weekend?
I think we'll change it up from the other night. Our main formation this season has been kind of a 4-5-1 formation with one striker and two wingers. But because we've drawn a lot of games, the fans have been clamouring for more of a 4-4-2 with two strikers up front in Wilson Isidore and Eliza Mayenda, both of whom have had decent seasons. And so he changed it the other night, and the midfield didn't work. We only had Joe Bellingham and Dan Neil in the middle, really, and Patrick Roberts was having to cut inside to cover, and it just didn't work. So I think we'll revert back to our one man up front, and you'll have Roberts on one wing and probably remain Mundell on the other wing with, I suspect it'll be Mayenda up front. Mayenda's probably a little bit more in form than Wilson Isidore, and he can give Isidore rest. What we have had, we've had some key players coming back from injury. We lost some key players just before Christmas with Mundell being out and Tommy Watson. I think they both got injured in the Coventry game, I think back. And they've just kind of come back in. So he's trying to give proper minutes to Mundell, who's a massive asset when he's on the pitch. And Watson as well, who's a really good young prospect, 18-year-old, very, very quick. And Alan Brown as well in the midfield, who had a very good first half of the season before injury. So he's trying to kind of rotate things. But I think you'll see the two wingers and the rotating three-man midfield on Saturday, which is Bellingham, Dan Neil, and probably Chris Rigg, another one who's having a really good season, hot prospect. So I think we'll go with that and probably Mayenda up front. But knowing Regis Labrie, you can't really tell he keeps his cards close to his chest. But that's my thoughts.
And what's the away form been like this season? Tell us a little bit about
it. It hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad. I'd say we've struggled at times at home against the low block teams, but we've had some good away wins recently. We went to Sheffield Wednesday a couple of weeks back and won 2-1. Not a great performance, but we took the points. We went to Derby just before that and won 1-0. Again, we're pretty much controlled from start to finish. So it's not too bad. I mean, we should have beaten Burnley, a game where we missed 2 penalties in the last 3 minutes, which unbelievable. Yeah. Sheffield United again. We went to Bramall Lane on Boxing Day, played them off the park and lost to a late goal. So away form, we've been decent. We've been decent. I'm fairly optimistic we can get a result on Saturday.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised because you've got such a young team, haven't you? I mean, are you surprised how high up the table you are, or were you all expecting this?
Oh, we weren't expecting it. I think probably the most optimistic of us thought we could make a playoff push. I certainly did. I mean, we had a bad end of last season where we kind of fell away. We appointed Michael Beale after Mowbray left, which was a disastrous appointment. So he only lasted a few months, and then we used Mike Dodds in a caretaker capacity. Now Mike Dodds, a very likeable man, and by all accounts, a fantastic coach. But he wasn't a manager, although he has now left us and took charge at Wickham. So hopefully he does well there. As I say, he's a likeable chap. And then we've got Labrie in the summer, who, I mean, frankly, nobody had heard of. But, I mean, hit the ground running. We won our first 4 games. I think we won something like 8 out of our first 10, which kind of set the pace. And we've maintained it. And I think one of the things... As I say, we've kind of tailed off a little bit performance-wise in the last 2 months. But my theory with that is we don't have anybody challenging from behind. We've had this kind of 12, 13-point gap between 4th and 5th for about 2 months now. And you had Middlesbrough had a little bit of a run for a time. Obviously, Coventry's been on this great run. West Brom came with a few wins in a row and they've dropped off now. Norwich are the same. And it's kind of... everybody's squabbling for the places below us, and this gap's maintained. So I think if we had a couple of teams a little bit closer, maybe 4 or 5 points behind, I think it would give Sunderland the push to put the performances in. You know, it's kind of a lack of a challenge, and you've got a little bit of gap between us and the top three now of I think about 7 or 8 points, which, I mean, I watch Sheffield United and I watch Burnley, and to me, neither of them are playing as well as Sunderland, but they just keep grinding out the wins, you know, and it's frustrating. Frustrating when you go on from a match that you've won and then you see 1-0 Burnley, 1-0 Sheffield United, and then you see the highlights and you think the team that played should have had a penalty and Burnley scored another deflected goal, and but that's the way it is, you know.
I know. I'm glad you brought up that points gap between fourth, fifth, and sixth, because you know we've been chasing it. We never thought when we looked at it in November, we never thought that we'd been even in the playoffs. You know, we thought we were way underperforming. We're never going to make it. All of a sudden, we've caught everyone up. We've put a bit of pressure on Middlesbrough, Watford, Norwich. You know, we put pressure on them, pressure on West Brom, Blackburn. I know they've lost Eustace, who has gone to Derby. He's started to do a good job there. We never thought we were going to end up in the position we are at the moment. And you know, but that gap where you've been up there all season, haven't you? You've been there all season. You haven't dropped it. You haven't dropped off. You lost the odd game, but then you know you came back into it. But it's amazing how I don't think I've seen the league like this for a while.
No,
where
very strange. Very strange.
Yeah. There's always room. There's always, you know, the last four are always fighting for those 4 places. You know, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. They're all fighting it all the time. This year, it's just been fifth and sixth. It's just mad, isn't it? Really, it's just mad how it's gone.
If you remember a couple of seasons ago when we both made the playoffs, it was a tight division then, and I mean, Sunderland got in with about 3 minutes of the season left when Blackburn conceded at Millwall, and it was all really tight. I mean, we could have played Coventry, we could have played Borough, and it was all nip and tuck right at the end. And you're right, it's very rare it happens like this where there's a gap. And that's what I'm saying about kind of perhaps Sunderland needed the challenge to really push on to aim for the top 3. It just seems like we've never kind of closed the gap for. I don't know,
does it feel like then you've settled for the playoffs then, do you think? Is that why, you know, because like you're saying, there's no one really challenging you?
I think it has in the manager's mind and in a lot of the supporters. I mean, I kind of haven't given up, but you know, we'll see. But I think the manager, it's noticeable he's been rotating players a lot over the last 3 or 4 games. I think trying to get the fitness up. The same Mundle and Watson, who are big players for us, and Alan Brown have missed, well, the last 3 to 4 months. And he's trying to give them minutes all the time. I mean, he played Watson from the start the other night, didn't really work, and so he subbed him off. He brought Romain Mundle on, who scored a worldly goal to get us a point. So yeah, we have this rotation, and he's kind of rotating Isidore, who's been a revelation this season for the most part. I mean, scored some unbelievable goals, the likes of which I haven't seen for many a year. I think that's actually said on Fans TV, must have been when I was on last season, and he young lad who got in that. I remember saying to Claudio, he reminded us a lot of Cyril Regis. And I remember saying at the time, if he turns out half as good as Cyril, then we'll have a bar. Now, all my son and mates were just laughing at us. But this season, he come back in the summer, he's bulked right up, and he's looking the business. He really is. So, and I think he'll play on Saturday, so he'll get a sight of him.
Well,
after picking him up, hopefully he does the business.
he didn't get a knock. He didn't get a knock. He's going to miss. That's all we need. That confidence there. We don't need that after Tuesday night. We've got to definitely.
One thing I pick up on what you were talking about, Rodoni's a player who I really like. And while it's bad news for you, it's good news for us that he's out. because Rudoni has a habit of turning it on against us all the time. And I mean, he had a good game at Sunderland earlier in the season. He had good games for Huddersfield all the time when he played. So it's bad luck for the lad, but that's a positive for us. I mean, that said, Sakamoto is another one I like for Coventry, and he generally turns up against us. He certainly has. I think he scored 2 years ago and he beat us 3-0 up there. He was probably man of the match in that game. So he's one we'll have to watch.
Yeah, Sakamoto can be very, very, very tricky. Now,
he can be.
Assassins United's just put the voodoos on us now. It said Sunderland haven't won in Coventry since 1985.
I was there. we won 1-0, and I think it might have been Nick Pickering scored, who went on to join Coventry. So yeah, that is the last time we won in Coventry. I mean, there was a spell where we didn't play us for a while, but yeah, we won 1-0. That was actually what was one of them seasons where we went on a disastrous run after Christmas. And I think Coventry was the only game we won after Christmas. We ended up getting relegated. We got the League Cup final that year. We played Norwich in the League Cup final, and both of us went down, Sunderland and Norwich. Unusual thing there. But yeah, I'm sure that game at Highfield was the only one we won after New Year.
Well, you can thank Assassins United if you win on Saturday now.
I will do, yeah. I'll send them a scarf and I'll win the spot by.
Let's get some scores in then. I'll come to you first, Vicky. Let's have a score for Saturday.
Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it? 'Cause it's going to be a tough game, and Sunderland a decent. But I suppose the trouble is, I 1985 was before my time, so I haven't seen a series of Sunderland Coventry. So I've got this unexpected confidence that we're just going to do the job. So I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0. Okay, so that's Vicky's prediction. Okay, Jim, we'll come to you.
I think I'm going to go for 2-1. I think I'm like Vicky. I'm going with my heart rather than my head. My head's probably saying the draw, but I'm going to go for a win. Yeah, I think we might do it. Hopefully, we'll have a reaction from Derby.
Okay, and Paul.
I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-2. I fancy an entertaining goal fest. Going 2-2. Same as it was earlier in the season.
Well, I'm going to go, and I'm going to be boring here. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going for a draw. Yeah, even Stevens on this one, I think. We'll just have to see how it goes. Now, there's a comment just coming here for us, Paul, because I was here that night down there. I mean, up there. I was up there. I remember being at Roker Park when Speedy and Bennett got sent off for fighting. That was from Mark Reed. I remember.
Yeah, I was there that night as well.
I'll tell you something. There was a scary moment coming out of that ground, right? There used to be a fish and chip shop near the ground, weren't there?
There was, a very good.
There was a fish and chip shop near the ground, and I think nearby there was an alleyway, and we were walking back to the minibus, and we got chased back to the minibus by Sunderland fans. They come running out this entry, and we got chased back to the minibus. And I'll tell you what, it must have been. I think it was the most scariest thing in my life I've ever been to an away game. Being chased by a load of home fans. I was like, whoa! But I remember that night.
Well, Gary Bennett had just come back from injury, from a knee injury. He'd been out about 6 months, and Speedy targeted that knee. Yeah, he come in and he kicked him on the back of the knee, the knee that Bennett had been off for, and that's why Bennett kind of lost it.
But
I know Gary Bennett really well through football. My son and Gary Bennett's brother, Dave Bennett, who you'll know very well.
Yeah,
we played together in the same football team up there, so I know the Bennett brothers really well, and Gary, he doesn't care to talk about it too much about Speedy. Doesn't think much of him.
But the thing is, he sort of grabbed him round the throat as well and pushed him.
He threw him into the crowd.
Yeah,
he-
through
he-
the crowd.
It was Speedy was quite fortunate that the crowd weren't really ready for that. If there had been, he'd have disappeared into the crowd. Maybe not to be seen again. I don't know. Because Sunderland and David Speedy have a bit history, you see, as well before that Coventry game. Because Speedy was part of the Coventry team that Sunderland beat in the League Cup semi-final in 1985. And once the tie was kind of over, I think we were 5-1 up with a few minutes to go. He went in with one of the worst challenges I've ever seen on Sean Elliott, Sunderland's big centre-half, and just almost crippled him. Set straight red card, and he gave the V's and the verbals to the Sunderland fans as he was trudging off. So there's a little bit of history. Plus Speedy's from up he used to play for Darlington at one time before he made the big time. So yeah, it's not he wouldn't get a pint of beer, put it that way.
and Jim, we were wearing the yellow kit that night for that shirt you're wearing now.
Yeah, great kit with the black lines down there. Yeah, the yellow and black one. Yeah,
we were. Yeah, remember it well. Listen, Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem.
We'll let you know if you win the scarf.
Yeah, good luck with the website, Jim. Nice venture.
Paul. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
And, thanks again for coming on, Paul. We'll hopefully see you again, maybe for the playoffs, eh?
Well, yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never know. Listen, all the best for the rest of the season, but once again, not for Saturday.
I can understand that. Okay, well, thanks for having us on again. So,
no worries, Paul. Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love getting the views of the visiting team coming to the CBS, or the views of the home team when we're travelling away. It's just great, isn't it? Because you can see where, what's going on, and what they know and what we know, what we don't know. So we learn a little bit about the away team travelling towards us on Saturday, which is good. Right, let's get back to some more comments. There's loads here. Where's Claudio? He needs to hurry up here. I'm sinking. Right, where are we? Paul, we're going to come to you in a minute, Jim. Honest, we are going to get to talk to you in a minute about your website and everything, which is fantastic. If you haven't already had a go and spot the ball, please do, because you can win this scarf. Here you go. Here's the scarf. You can win that tonight. Get your numbers in. That'll be great. So Paul Stratton comes on. I'll put a star by this so I know which comment was next. Really think 4-3-3 is going to cost us. We are having our defence frailties showing up again. Conceding 2 goals a game is going to kill our season. Yeah. Well, we'll ask you two this. Is it the last 3 games we've conceded? Is it last 3? No, not last 3, is it? Yeah, it is. Last 3 games we've conceded 2 goals, isn't it?
Yeah, because it was 2 3-2s and the 2 now.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was before that, but yeah.
So, Jim, what do you make to that comment there? Do you think he's got to change it?
I'm not sure, really. I think at the start, I think Frank probably wouldn't have played the formation that he wanted to, but he had to because based on injuries, which was, I thought, fair play to him on that. He was playing the formation based on the players that he had. There could be something in it. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether it's that or whether it's just like what Vicky said, a bit of a mentality thing about being switched on, being aggressive, seeing games out. Because earlier on in the season we were quite poor at that, and that's big and a big improvement. But it almost seems like bad habits have crept back in again with conceding silly goals, and then our heads dropping, and not really anybody grabbing the team like the likes of Michael Doyle used to do. That kind of aggression and game management. But possibly, I think I'm not sure based on the fact that we've had such a good run of over the last 11 games. So. I think maybe a few more games, I'll probably decide to make a decision on that. Hopefully it's just a blip. And they were tired, like you said, Miles.
Yeah, and it was a heavy pitch. It was the first thing I said when I walked out and looked at the stadium and the players out on the pitch. Straight away I went, that's poor, and it's going to be heavy on their legs, and having put in all the effort they did on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it takes just a couple of players to almost bring the whole team down, and they shouldn't really let themselves get like that. I mean, like if we're talking about Simms again, the best games I've seen him have is when he's really aggressive and he's up with his elbows and he's really having a go. And he's a big, strong guy. He's this frightening prospect for a defender, as is Haji Wright. But to see a big, strong guy like that not really put himself about and not get stuck in and not chase lost causes, it's really disappointing. And when he does that, that's when he plays well. So I think sometimes if there's a few like that are just having a bit of an off day, it can filter through to the whole team. So they've got to be better at that. They've got to be more professional at that and just be almost win games when they don't play well,
Yeah, we've got that, and that's what we've been doing, winning games by not playing great, and that's what we've been doing. Steve Curry's coming. He said, if we beat Sunderland on Saturday, we will have Radoni back after the international break. Perfect for the running. Yes, it is perfect for the running. By the way, guys, if you want to, you can now subscribe to the channel. It is free on YouTube, and you can now actually subscribe and pay $1.99 a month, and there's some special emojis on there that you can put on your text, and you get special badges as well. So they are available if you want to help out the channel in that respect, and it be absolutely fantastic. I got told last week that it was $4.99 a month, and then I've changed it this week. It is now $1.99. There is a $4.99 one as well, and also you get some discount off merchandise. And if you go to the top of the range one, you get exclusive early access to the History Podcast. Right, okay. Jeanette says, ref a line person diabolical on Tuesday. I didn't think the ref was very good at all on Tuesday. I thought it was very, very poor. Probably the worst ref this season, I think. Lee Beckett, Tuesday night had loss written all over it. Not beating them in 9 meetings and out of form. Just the type of team we lose to. He's hit the nail on the head there. He's right, isn't he? That's what he is right. Aaron Thomas, Patterson has been at the club how long now, and still used sparingly on Tuesday. We needed a bit of guile in the final third, and he would have been perfect for that. But we threw Bassett on and then gave him nothing. Absolutely nothing. No. Absolutely nothing. I love Bassett. I do as well. Lee Beckett says, agreed, Janet. Rob Murray, I watched Portsmouth beat Leeds on Sunday and then lose to Plymouth last night. It mirrored our last 2 games. This league is so unpredictable. It definitely is. There's an evening there from Wayne Burton. Good evening, Wayne. Assassins Unite. After Saturday's game, we have the 2-week international break, get the injured players fit and ready to rip up the final 8 games and then on to the playoffs. That would be lovely. Sheaf's injured again, and it's his calf. Oh, come on. I'm going to add that in a little bit about Sheaf. I've got something to ask you all. Assassins Unite. In Lamps we trust. Steve Price. Good evening, Steve, all the way from Wales. Very disappointing to lose to Derby, but was going to happen sometime. Would have had a buffer before 3 difficult games if we had won. Yeah, look. We like playing difficult games, don't we? West Brom game is massive. Hector, 59 points would have great going into Saturday. Yeah, would have been. Aaron Thomas, this was always going to happen as the performances have been poor. Even when we were winning, Lampard's substitutions were baffling. Steve Price. Bidwell had an absolute nightmare and Wright didn't show enough desire. Surprisingly, De Silva did well when he came on. I don't think you can blame Haji Wright. He's coming back from injury. He's not 100% fit. And I think, it was a tall ask for that. So maybe putting Patterson on from the start might have been an idea. I don't know. Paul Stratton, Miles, can't blame the pitch. Derby wanted it more than us. I wasn't blaming the pitch. I was saying that the pitch looked heavy, looked poor. and it may have played a little part in the way that we played, because we like playing the ball around on the floor, don't we? Brian Tully. Brian Tully in Coventry, out of the last 9 games, Miles, the game I'm most scared of is Luton away. Oh, no. I knew someone would pick that one up. They're showing some fight all of a sudden now. Even Plymouth are showing some fight as of last night. Oh, Brian, you would have. I've asked for people for a good thing to think about, not bad things like going to Luton and scrambling for tickets if you've got 2,000 points, because they're only allowed 900 tickets or something stupid. Hector, 100 plus in the chat. Let's hit the likes. Yes, come on, hit those likes, please, if you can. It'd be absolutely brilliant. I watched Matt SB's YouTube channel the other day, and they give a target. Give us a thumbs up. So come on, get your thumbs up in there if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, it's free, or you can buy a subscription for $1.99 now. Aaron Thomas, EMC should not have played. Even Lampard said he has a toe issue, so why risk him when we have Patterson, who can play anywhere across the front line? Wayne Littlewood, good evening, Wayne. Good evening all. Well, what a letdown that display was. Sadly, I felt it was coming. I know we've been on a great run, but Preston apart, we've not played amazing football. Sassins unite. We can win most of the remaining games. 5 wins maximum to get into the playoffs. I think that's what Claudia was saying the other night to me. We were saying, I think it's about 5 wins. Jeanette, I wonder what Jack Rodoni thought from the stands with the fans. Yes, Jack Rodoni was in the stands. We've seen him. And Chris Baker had his picture took with Carl McFadzean, because he was there as well. Paul Stratton, every home game now is going to be like a playoff final. Ralph Wiggins, we started poorly and went downhill. You see, I thought we started all right. I thought we started quite brightly on Tuesday, and then we went downhill. As soon as they scored, we went, well, what's going on here? Dark Farts, how can you lose against Derby? I mean, they are bottom. But then again, we are lucky to have won the games we had. Assassins Unite, EMC, Light Wright and Bidwell have to pass ridiculous fitness tests. If the medics say they're fit, they're up for selection. Ralph Wiggins, and our best players were awful. Blimey, come on, give us something nice to think about. Something nice, come on. Then we got Janet again. People need to watch what Simms does off the ball. He does a lot of running. He does do a lot of running. Mark Rainbow, evening. We look like we ran out of steam on Tuesday. At least we don't have to carry the weight of the run now. No, that's true. We go again, which is absolutely brilliant, which is what you want. It's called Hush. It's an underground cellar speakeasy, 1920s themed, below the terrace. Below the terrace. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, okay. Might have to pop down there one night, Jordan. I might have to pop down. Why not? Right then. We'll come to some more comments later. I'm just going to stick a star next to the last comment I read, so Claudio can talk to us in a minute. He's here, but we're not going to talk to him yet. I'll just bring you in, but we ain't going to talk to you now. You sit there, you just wait. I might have to shoot off very, very soon, just for 10 minutes. But we're going to come to Jim. Jim, now come on, we got you on here for a reason. Tell us a little bit about your wonderful merchandise website. Look at these guys.
Thanks, Miles. Well, basically, about a year ago, I was trying to get a retro Coventry City scarf, like the ones we used to wear at our beloved Highfield Road, you know, with the bar scarf, the sky blue, the white with the navy blue bar. And what I noticed was there was a theme of kind of our scarves going more like Man City's, just sky blue and white. And that annoyed me a little bit, because I thought, well, we've always had navy blue. Navy blue has been just as much of a colour as white has, along with sky blue, and throughout our history really of such as this kit here, you know, with a bit of navy blue on it. So I couldn't find one online, and a friend offered to knit me one. So she knitted me a scarf, like the ones that you've got there, the prize for Swap the Ball, like the ones on my website. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm not the only one that's got a bit of a love for all things retro, a bit of a love for our Highfield Road years. So I thought I'm going to sort of put all that together and call it the same name as the title of our song that we sing at the start of every game, "Take Me Home Highfield Road." And I'm going to create my own scarves. So it was just a bit of a side passion project, really, that I started last year, and it went live about 2 months ago. So I think early to mid-January, and it's done really, really well. There's been loads of interest, lots of people really interested in the scarves, and I think hopefully I've tapped into something there. There's people that actually think, oh yeah, I'd really want one of those scarves as well, and I've struggled to get one. So that was all it was, really. It was just a bit of a quest, you know, to create something that I couldn't find myself. So I've absolutely loved it. It's been a real learning experience. I've never done anything like this before. There's lots to learn. I've really enjoyed it. It's a bit of a creative passion, really, but I think it all comes from my love of our Highfield Road years and wanting to get my hands on a retro scarf that I found it very hard to find.
Yeah, because a lot of the scarves in different shops and stuff like that, they're either like flamboyant and then like a couple of seasons they've had them similar to the kits that we've worn. So they've got big lettering on and things like that. So yeah, I know what you mean with, you know, the navy blue and white stripes and the sky blue segments in between. It is a very sort of old feel to it, isn't it? It goes well with my Peaky Blinders hat. It looks good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just thought it's a bit of an iconic scarf, really. I just thought it was a shame that we were losing. I didn't want us to lose that navy blue, because obviously sky blue is our main colour, but white and navy blue for me have been equals, you know, and it seemed that was kind of going away from our scarf. So it was about that, really.
And have you got anything else planned going forwards apart from scarves? Is there anything else we can look forward to?
Yes, yeah, I'm planning on creating t-shirts very soon, so in the spring, so probably over the next few weeks, over the next month, and then it will be accessories like mugs, for example, and then in the autumn it'll be hoodies and sweatshirts. So yeah, planning on going into clothing as well.
I mean, you mentioned about the navy blue. Claudia, if you could move to your right, your head. You had to think then. So the navy blue, like you say, is always been in a Cov City shirt. If you look there with the tramline shirt, you got the navy blue in the middle. You got the Talbot navy blue. You got the navy blue on the Le Coq Sportif on as I'm looking at it on the right. You got the shirt after that one, which is there with the Persian on it. That's got navy blue in it. This has got navy blue in it. That's got navy blue in it. Apart from Claudio hasn't, because he's wearing his dirty brown one. I mean, it is a good idea. They are nice, and do you know what? If they are really, really soft as well, they're a real nice quality. How did you decide on the material that you were using?
It was. I found a company that makes scarves quite close to Coventry, really. So it was a case of lots of trial and error with getting the colours right and getting the material right, and thinking about the tassels on the end. Apparently, it's called a fringe. I didn't know that.
Okay.
It's on the end of the scarf, and I thought, do I go sky blue? Do I go navy blue? I went with navy blue. So I think a lot of the old ones that I used to see had navy blue fringes on them. And for the logo, I had an idea of having it embroidered. So it's an embroidered badge, kind of in the style of a road sign, you know, like with the postcode on it. So yeah, I just wanted it to be. I wanted it to be sort of an affordable thing as well, really. You know, something that is a decent, affordable price for people.
Well, as I always say on this show, it's less than 2 pints of beer at the football. Always bring it up, always. Now, if anyone wants to win one of these, if you want to win this scarf that I've got here, This one, I'll show you again. Here you go. This scarf. If you want to win it, all you got to do is spot the ball. There you go. Haji Wright playing against Sunderland in November, just before he got injured. And as balls numbers 1 to 12, take your guesses. Let's get Claudio's guess in here. Claudio, give us a guess.
Are you talking to me now then?
Yeah, go on.
I thought I'd been, because I wasn't on time, you're telling me off and muted me.
No.
I'm going to go for number 2.
Number 2. Okay, give us a score for Saturday.
Well, I've just been on Black Cats TV and I've told them if we score, we're going to win. If we score first, that is. So I said a cheeky 2-1 for us.
2-1. Okay, lovely. So if anyone wants one of these scarves, if you don't win it tonight, head over to takemehome highfieldroad.com. They are brilliant. How long's postage on these then, Jim?
It's Royal Mail 48 hours, so it's within a couple of days.
Okay, brilliant. So that's good then. So they might even get it Saturday morning if they ordered tonight. There you go. Happy days, ready to wear on Saturday to the game. By the way, if anyone wants to buy a mug and coaster while we're talking about buying things, $15.95. That's not even 2.5 pints of beer at the football. Email us skybluefanstv@gmail.com. You can order your coaster and mug there. Now listen though, if you head over to YouTube and you subscribe to our monthly subscription, $1.99 a month, you get 5% off that. If you subscribe for the $4.99 a month monthly subscription, you get 10% off that. But you don't have to pay if you want to subscribe, because normal subscription is free. So head over to YouTube, give us a like, subscribe. We've got 5 likes. Come on, hold on a minute. Let's see how many's on there. There's 128 watching on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, all of you, please, if you don't mind. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Now, there's lots more to talk about. We're running out of time. I was going to talk. We'll come to Claudio, actually. We'll come to him, and we're going to talk. Claudio, you've been with Doug. What's going on?
I thought I was watching the shopping channel then. It's like QVC.
Sure.
So no, it's brilliant. I love those scarves. Absolutely love them. Yeah, you're right about the navy blue. You're spot on. Even the 1966-67 season when we got promoted, we had navy blue on the cuffs. We had it around the collar, white and navy blue, exactly like that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's been going on? Well, it's the usual.
What's going on?
Supporters for thing. The problem is that the stuff you see printed is just they shorten it all down. It's a shame not everybody can hear what goes on behind the scenes, because it's so much more to talk about. What I can tell you is this: the things that have been bothering people lately. Road closures, completely out of our hands. This is something implemented by the council. It's costing the club, and Doug says he announced it, so it's going to be out there, £120,000 a year. That's what the club are paying to have the road closed that the club don't want closed, but they've got no choice in the matter. So don't have a go at the club. It's nothing to do with them. If you've got anybody who can negotiate with the council, that's where you got to go down, basically. But they were saying the council got footage of people crossing the road at all manner, basically causing problems, and that's why they've shut it.
Amazing how the cameras didn't work on the Radford Road for old Keaton, but they work at the CBS.
Yeah, exactly that. He talks about the accounts. He felt that he was transparent about it. The club's making a loss of $5 million a year, but that's just standard. We're not putting ourselves in a position where we're going to be in danger of losing anything. Basically, we've got control of everything inside the stadium in terms of everything you see that's been new. The club are paying for it.
Cool.
Nothing to do with phrases. The club are doing all that. And the most important thing is the extension to the deal for the stadium, which has to be done by this summer, which they're negotiating now.
Okay. How close are they?
Well, he said it's going as good as it can be. That's all he said, basically.
Okay.
But they're doing everything possible to get it done.
And do we get anything from the food, drinks, or
Not a lot.
not a lot? But we do get something.
Yeah, but not a lot. It's not a great amount. They're trying to do as much as they can to make service quicker. They're trying to come up with all ideas. They're trying to improve the inside, the seating. Some of the seating is going to be replaced. He said there's levels of things they want to do, but what's more important, getting out of the division or having comfort around the stadium? It's a juggling act when you've only got so much money to spend.
Yeah.
Basically.
And what about the council is sticking their nose in again. There's a surprise, shock horror. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do about that one. If anyone does know anyone at the council, can you go and, I don't know, knock on the door and tell them to behave, because they're costing the football club money again. They did enough by kicking us out the ground when the Wasps were in there. Now they're sticking their noses in again. Well, we ain't having that again, are we? So, if anyone can go and knock on the door, it'd be nice. What about the awards night? Any news on the date?
Doug said it's fluid, basically. So, no.
Lots of drink.
There's no decision yet. And even the next meeting we're having, they're not announcing it just in case, basically. So, they're looking, it's all being very positive, you know what I mean? Because the next meeting would be around about when the playoffs are. So, you're not going to have it then, are you? Just in case, basically.
And have we managed to get him to come and join us?
I'll talk to you off there.
Okay. I just wanted to plant a seed. Never know. Would you be fantastic? Anything else that we need to know?
Yeah, well, the club are saying that they want it to be a club where everybody can come and enjoy Coventry City. Basically, they're desperately trying to. And we're not just talking diversity here. We're talking everybody. It's more focused on getting everybody from Coventry and the surrounding areas coming to the ground, regardless of who you are, what you look like, you know what I mean? It's just they want everybody to come in. So they're doing a lot on the disability side of things. They're doing a lot on the sensory side of stuff. They've moved it away from the away fans where it used to be to the other end. So because basically you don't even buy the away fans if you've got certain issues, So in a safer environment. They're trying to do more for the lounges because there's more people going, there's more tables, health and safety kicks in, which means you can't use all the seats because you can't get enough people up there to use all the seats. So they're looking at a way of changing that to try and get more people in there on the seats, or a way of getting them around the ground, basically. The exchange ticket thing can only be expanded to everybody if you can't get a ticket, basically. So while there's empty seats, there's no need to have an exchange system for everybody.
Right.
But they have contacted families who haven't used it or haven't been doing the system, basically.
Okay.
It'd be a great. Yeah, other clubs do it when you can't get a ticket, basically, and it's a great system to have.
Okay. Cool.
But it was positive. I mean, Doug King in those meetings is always positive. There's always a good vibe, and you always seem to, well, we know from the past, you seem to get a good feel from it all. And he feels we're going in the right direction, but we're doing it in a gradual manner, not, which is true, I suppose.
Well, he needs to do it this year because I want a free season ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to spend any more money.
Yeah, we didn't mention season ticket prices actually, because a lot of clubs already announced theirs, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah, Sunderland have. They've got theirs out early. Theirs is quite cheap. I think Forest put theirs out. They're like $7.60. Some of the cheaper ones.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
So you've been on Sunderland podcast. What's their feeling? We've had Paul on here, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Gave us a great lowdown on Saturday. What are they feeling it? Are they, because we've spoken to Paul about the playoffs as well. Are they talking about it up there? What's going on?
Yeah, the impression I get is they don't want to play us in the playoffs. Because of the fact we've got this hoodoo over them, and it's
voodoo.
Hoodoo.
I've told you they've got badges. These teams have badges, and they stick pins in the badges. It's voodoo.
No, so I think they're looking at it, hoping. Well, they don't. Nobody seems to want to play Burnley in a playoff final for obvious reasons. I've already said to him, we want to play them because we think we can beat them over 2 games. Hopefully, whoever finishes 6th will beat whoever finishes 3rd.
Listen,
that's what I'm thinking.
Seconds. I've got to shoot for 10 minutes. I'll be back. Carry on. Discuss everything. Everything's in the banners if you want to discuss what's there. And there's more pictures if you want to discuss that. I'm back in a minute. I won't be long. I'll be quick. All right. 2 seconds.
That's interesting. What have you been talking about anyway? Because I've been away.
We dissected Derby. What was your thoughts on Tuesday night?
My thoughts on Tuesday. You know what? I've done the mini Midlands tour, haven't I? And I've been to Stoke, West Brom, and Derby, and haven't seen a goal. Lost all 3. Derby's just a joke. They've had 3 shots and scored 4 goals against us this season.
That's crazy, isn't it?
You just think, I don't know. I mean, Doug King said it tonight. We kind of tricked our way to a couple of wins during this run. And I think we just ran out a bit of luck on Tuesday because the second goal was way off the pitch. We know that. And as soon as they scored that second goal, that was game over. I thought we never looked like we were going to impose anything on them, did we?
No,
Haji Wright looked way off it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Looked so. His touch mainly, he couldn't hold the ball, which doesn't help Ellis Simms up front either, because you kind of feel like he's having to do the work of 2 people then. If Haji Wright's not doing it, Sakamoto is still like a breath of fresh air. Is our one outlet, basically. Radoni was still man of the match, and he was in the stands, wasn't he, with us? It's ridiculous. Where else was there? 2 lads at the back. For some reason, there was a bizarre instance in the second half where Kitchen's trying to run out the defence with the ball, and Bobby Thomas is telling him to slow down. Like, we're losing, Bobby. Come on, what's going on? So it was just a bit, I don't know, maybe if the game was on Wednesday, it might have been a bit better for us. It just felt like it was another game, wasn't it? They thinking, we could do without this game tonight. And they sort of played that way. It just didn't look right. I don't know what you guys have said. The whole thing was just not right, basically. And it felt like we'd gone back to November.
Yeah, that's what's been said, hasn't it?
That's pretty much it, isn't it, Jim? Yeah.
Bad habits, making mistakes, not being aggressive enough, not being organised enough, game management and all that. Yeah.
But it's 2 defeats. It's 9 wins in 11 games. That's how you look at it. And we're still the form team in the division. So hopefully we can get some on Saturday.
Just a blip, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to read some comments, shall I, while Miles is away? This is from Dawn Cook. Yeah, stop sending me messages now, Dawn. I don't think any of our players are on it on Tuesday, but please stop picking out individuals when they're in the team who have just had an amazing run. Smile and wave, people. Smile and wave. Yeah, it seems daft, doesn't it? We've got 9 games to go. Just get behind them. Get behind them. You never know. It was always a banana skin derby. I just had a feeling. And really, no respect for them to playing samba music when they scored. Oh, it's just hideous. Assassin United, let's get another sellout on Saturday. Back the lads to get yet another win under Lampard. That's one thing Doug King was saying, is desperately trying to sell out that stadium, which we pretty much are. They're trying to move the flags where they've got the seating at the front. They're having a word with Sky to try and move the cameras because of the position. They're taking up so many seats, apparently, that when they're in town, they can't sell the tickets. So they need to work out where they can put the cameras as well. Dave Granigan, Tuesday just shown that we have ran out of luck. We have been very frail at the back. Just hope that's just a little blip. I think as long as we don't get to us, we'll be fine. Fingers crossed.
We had a bit of luck against Sheffield Wednesday, didn't we, as well?
I mean,
it's won against the run of play, so it's maybe just a bit of.
Remember, we have been a club in the past where we've struggled and we end up getting results where we shouldn't get a result.
Yeah,
especially playing at home. And that's the one thing Doug said as well, that he wants the CBS to be a fortress. He said we'd lost 9 games at home in 17 when Mark Robins left, compared to what we got now.
No one would have expected us to be where we are now, would they? From back then, from November.
You need to win 15 games at home minimum to get promoted. You've got to win those matches to give it any chance, and then pick up points away from home and whatever. You can't lose. Was it 6 or something like that? 5 or 6 in the first few games. Ridiculous. Did anyone see? This is from Gary Anderson. Did anyone see Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid? We could take lessons from Atletico Madrid. Never seen a team defend so well in my life. Oh. That's all I've been doing for the last 10 years. Simeone. I did think, when I was watching that, wouldn't it be funny to have somebody like Simeone as your manager? It'd be absolutely nuts, wouldn't it?
Lots of dark arts going on, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. And that penalty, did he have a second touch? I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, it's hard to prove it, isn't it, really?
I think there's no way they could have proved that. Let's have a comment from Mark Rainbow. The club have sold 50,000 pieces of replica kit, or to put it another way, 42,000 replica shirts this season. How good is that? When the TV showed the crowd on Tuesday, you could barely see any Derby merch. Excuse me. What a time to lose your voice. Where's Miles?
But we're still waiting for a chocolate brown away strip. That's what I think we should be going for. But we never seem to get it, do we?
I did mention, because the commercial manager was there, and I said, the shop's amazing. Everything in there is incredible. And I did mention, can I request a shirt? And he says, which one do you want? So I said, 1974-75, the red away shirt that everybody keeps forgetting about with the gold badge. And he went, right, I'll look into it. Who designed it? I said, Umbro. So you never know. And I says, is there any more retro stuff? Is there anything left? He goes, oh, there's plenty, believe me. So fantastic.
Cool.
And Doug King did comment.
Market there.
Well, Doug King commented on the fact that he saw so many people wearing Cov gear, and the commercial guy said whether it was old or new, it was all pretty much new stuff. So
it's big now, isn't it? The retro stuff, and it means that people can afford, an old shirt that looks pretty much the same as a real shirt for a lot less price, a lot less money. So it's
It's clever marketing as well, isn't it? Because it tugs on like your sort of heart, like your memories, like it triggers memories, and it's very clever.
Oh, and it is, and it's exactly that. Because I mean, that's obviously this is not the original one because I was 11, 13, I think, 1978, 13. So when it came out, so it'd probably get on my belly now. But the that Talbot one is at a stretch.
Really? Wow.
At a stretch, it still fits. And I mean a stretch. Bizarrely, the purple one still fits okay. So I don't know. Some of the makes do, some don't.
The Lecoq Sportif ones are really big, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah,
I still wear that. That's still great. That's a remake one, obviously, but that's but it's fantastic. I think it's just brilliant, and the shop is amazing. Somebody else commented on some other stuff that they bought for their kids in there, and one guy said there's been 2 complaints. One from a supporter saying his kids always drag him in there and he has to buy something, and somebody saying it's too full in there, which is, that sounds like perfect, doesn't it, for the club?
I think Hummel have been brilliant as well, hasn't it? A lot of people love that Hummel 87 kit, the yellow one and the home one, and some of the kits that Hummel have done for us, that have been like the City of Culture kit and like really really kind of specific to Coventry, really, which is amazing, isn't it? So rather than your generic kind of night kits over the years and other brands, Hummel have really kind of found out about our city, like the two-tone kit, and lots of examples of that.
I did ask Doug about the sponsorship, because he's saying that they've got a good relationship with Monzo, and I did say, so we got them next season then, and he said, he just laughed and says, well, we've got a good relationship, is what he said. But apparently, you can change they got the Monzo app, you can change the background or something. 50,000 people are now using it with a sky blue background. 50,000.
Amazing.
That's bonkers, isn't it? That's incredible. That shows you. Yeah. He says hopefully they can see, it's worth doing. So hopefully you might get a kit out early for next season. In fact, they had got a load of kits on a hanger, and I kind of tried to look to see if there was anything new on there, but you can't tell. It was just sleeves. I was trying to do some investigative work, but Mark French, if we carry on playing like we did at Derby, you won't get into the top 10. Why do we play Wright, lazy and useless? Simms gets stick, but at least he moves. Patterson should have been on from the start. But they only had 2 shots, Derby. That's what's annoying. 2 shots on target. It's just bizarre. Gary Anderson.
This was desire, wasn't it? They just showed more desire to be defensively sound, I think, and we didn't, unfortunately.
I mean, what I'm going to say sounds ridiculous, but that cross that came in could have just gone off the pitch. The guy, and then the linesman flags for the ball going out. We're walking out with a 0-0 on a night when we're terrible, and we'll be saying, "Oh, good teams come away with something."
Yeah,
that's how daft the Championship is.
It was annoying with that second goal that when the ball went out, that Kitchen was appealing for that. I said on Sunday about when we appeal for offside rather than just concentrating on defending first and appealing afterwards. That's what he did. He appealed for the it going out. The linesman doesn't give it. He turns around and what was that goal scorer called? Harrison or something. He was there and just knocked it in, and Kitchen should have been marking him. You're just thinking
Harness, yeah.
Yeah, Harness. You just think you got to defend. Don't worry about that afterwards appealing or whatever, but just defend first. And it's just frustrating.
And the annoying thing is, Vicky, he came from the other side of the pitch.
Yeah.
I think I think he may have took an original corner or something, and the ball went back over that side. So he just drifted in, and he's from Cov, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Cov lad, typical.
Cov lads that score against us, don't they?
Mikey says, can't let the Derby result derail our season. Let's hope we can bounce back quickly and we have an exciting end to the season. I can't imagine there are Leeds fans saying we're not going to go up because they lost to Portsmouth away.
No.
That's which is the worst loss really on the night. I think in a tight Championship run race that there is at the minute, Leeds losing at Portsmouth is a poor result, really. Even though Portsmouth are strong at home, and then they lose to Plymouth.
It's that kind of league, isn't it, where anyone can beat anyone on a day. And I think mentioned it earlier, Vicky, didn't we, that Cov have often struggled against big, strong, organised, physical teams, that sort of grind out results. And teams lower than us, we often, like Preston and teams like Birmingham City, Rotherham, that those kind of tough teams, and then we do well against the better teams a lot of the time, like Sunderland.
You got some plaudits here, Jim. Glenn Watkins says, love the scarves. Jim does.
Cheers, man.
Definitely getting one soon. How soon? Has anything pinged on your phone in the last 5 minutes? Because he just checked. He's checking now.
I'll have a look.
So I've got a nice sky blue and white one, a bit similar to the Man City one, but with the blue, with the old badge in dark blue. Nice. And that looks nice, actually. That does set it off with the dark blue badge. Dawncourt, the problem is people get so swept up in the momentum of playoffs that when we have an off game, people are shocked to the core. It's one game. We'll be okay. You're right.
We'd have took it, wouldn't we? If we, where we were back then to where we are now.
I mean, I don't know if Miles said how angry he was. Some of the messages were hilarious.
He was on a proper man, wasn't he?
I said, of course, I was just sending him jokey messages, wasn't I? Pretending, trying to be. And I thought, no, he's had a drink, hasn't he? There's something going on here. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I said, just calm down. We're still in the top 6. I said to the lads on the girls and boys on the coach, I says, if that was the last game of the season, we finish in the top 6 still. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's we're still in the driving seat. It's still down to us, unless we lose our next 3 games. Then we'll talk about that. Daboy, I've always backed Simms, but I don't think he's at the level required if we want promotion. There's a split on Ellis, isn't there? Really? You feel like with his whole stature, the size of him, some games. I mean, the other week he looked really up for it, and then he looked. I don't know. That guy at the back who played for them, Clark, is useless. Really poor. And a couple of times he put pressure on him, and he gave the ball away. And it felt like, why didn't we do more of that? And then he scores the goal. We're like slagging him off, and 5 minutes later he scores. It's like, oh my word, that's typical, isn't it?
I think that's one of the things we like about Bassett. He's a terror, isn't he? He terrorizes. He never stops running. He's aggressive, and all the times when Simms has played well, he's the same. He's big and strong. He's getting stuck in. And I think often when he doesn't play well, it's when he doesn't look interested, when he's not got that sort of aggression. It's a shame because he's such a big guy. He could scare a lot of defenders. When he's on his game, he looks really dangerous.
And because of the way he runs, he looks like he's ambling. You can't really judge how fast he's going, I don't think. Whereas Bassett, he's like a torpedo, isn't he? He looks fast. And it's one of those.
I remember there was a game it must have been last season because Callum O'Hare was still playing for us, and they were both running diagonally across the pitch, so they were like in my eye line at the same point, running. And for me, I'd have always thought O'Hare was much quicker, but they covered the same amount of ground in the same time.
Yeah.
But O'Hare just looks quicker, and that's Simms Bassett. Simms has got like this really deceptive sort of amble about him, but he's actually quicker than he appears. I think it's just one of those funny runs that don't really show. But and I was surprised. I mean, how much I love Simms, but I was still surprised that he was as quick as O'Hare across the same distance, because I'd have thought that O'Hare was much quicker. And I think, but I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think that probably helps him, because I think people think he's ambling more than he really is. Like he's running more than people give him credit for because of his sort of mannerism, which is a shame, really.
I think, I think I'll probably go with this, Dan. Actually, Derby wanted it more than us on Tuesday, and that was a concern for a lot of fans in the ground. There's nobody left that stadium. As he left, we thought, it wasn't great. It just wasn't great, and it didn't feel right from the start. Yeah, that's right. Assassins Unite, Sunderland. Here we go. Haven't won in Coventry since 1985.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier with Paul, because Paul was at that game, so we had a bit of a chat about that. I'm
sorry to miss Paul. He's a great bloke. Really nice chap. I got another Sunderland mate. I know I have. And he sends me messages while the game's going on. It's hilarious, some of the stuff he comes out with. I mean, they've been in the top 6 all season. They're still moaning. It's weird because they had that run of 6 games where they drew, where they could have been a lot closer, you see. But the reason they're up there because they had such a great start. If we'd have had this sort of start, even a mediocre start would have been up there now. Easy. Yeah. We'd be where Sunderland are. Just such a dreadful start to the season.
He was talking a bit about Speedy, saying that he probably wouldn't get bought a pint if he went to a pub in Sunderland. He's not the most popular.
No. Still, that's a good thing, isn't it? Ian Wiggins. Mark City found myself. I say school is going to be 3-2 to Coventry, because they're doing good at the moment. Shame about Tuesday night, but there you go. It's just one of those things. I'm not sure what he's referring to there, but best Sunderland game. This is Mark Rainbow. At Highfield Road had to be when Bennett lost it big time. We won 4-0. Was it 4 or was it 5? I've been there.
Was it 5?
We put 6 past them one season at home.
That when Steve Livingston scored 4.
That was 5 though, wasn't it? In the cup.
Yeah, it's 5 now. Yeah.
It was the replay, wasn't it? He got a hat trick. Gusto Audio, and I think this is the issue. And I feel we've been unlucky because EMC and Radoni were picking up form and they get injured, and it's such a nightmare. And we seem to be unlucky. When Ben Sheaf was playing really well, he gets injured, and it's like this is last season. Sakamoto the same when he got injured last season. We never seem to have crap players getting injured, do we? Probably because they don't get involved. That's what it is. It's all the players that are really trying hard get injured. I don't know.
and when it's the more creative players as well, after losing O'Hare and Hamer, we almost miss it a little bit more, don't we? Because they were.
I nearly called him Ashley Grimes then. Matt Grimes hardly misses a game, and he's on the ball so much. So is he clever enough? He just gets rid of it before he gets hit. He doesn't hold it long enough, basically, to get tackled, to get in a tussle. I think maybe that's what it is.
I think he's just a bit tougher. I think because I was worried because we were obviously talking about that, and then you were saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to curse it now because he'll come in and get injured straight away and be out." And then the first few games, he took a couple of nasty tackles. One was really bad, and he was like bleeding on his shin. And I was like, "Oh dear, I hope this isn't going to be anything serious." But he just seems to run it up. And some players are just a bit tougher, aren't they? You've got players like Sheaf that pull a muscle, taking their shirt off or something, and then you get players like Grimes who just seem to be able to Well, I think O'Hare was probably like that until he got his bad injury. Up until that point, he was the sort of player that just carried on regardless. He was just some players are a bit tougher and then some are a bit injury prone, aren't they?
And Grimes looks very good technically in terms of receiving the ball and then releasing it quickly. So often they haven't got time to get on him, and his passing looks really accurate as well. I've noticed. It seems to be a bit of influence on the team.
Someone's mentioned it here, but on Tuesday he was so deep. I don't know why that happened. So this is from most of the people that slate Simms are watching on a Fire Stick, so they don't see a lot of what he does. That's from Gower87. This is from Dave Sports Photos. Miles pushing the paid subscription. It's going to get very old quickly. By the way, you can subscribe and pay one night. It goes for a good cause, apparently. But subscribe anyway; it's free. Yes, subscribe unless you want to pay. Graham Cockerell. Now we lost at Derby. Just remember, we won 8 out of 10 games. Anyone would have taken that 10 games ago. Of course, we would have, Graham. Roll on the break, says Mark Cunningham. The players look knackered. Cheryl Davies. There was so much hype before the game about Frank still loving Derby. Did Frank give them 3 points? No, definitely not. Loads of guesses for the on the up. This is Martin, isn't it? Evening. Forgot you was on tonight. Yeah, we need more desire to beat the crap teams like Derby. We'll beat Sunderland 2-1 on Saturday. This is going to be my one and only comment tonight. Number 8, spot the ball. Oh, thank you for that. If you subscribe, Martin, you know you'll be on because you get a message. Paul Stratton. Miles' pitch was not a criticism, but our commitment on the night was. I didn't realise the pitch was that bad because we're probably a bit too low. What did it look bad?
Miles was saying that he thought as soon as he got there, I don't know, was he higher up than you? He was saying that he said as soon as he got there, he thought, oh dear.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that. And
that's the thing sometimes. Depending where you sit, you get different perspectives, don't you? Like we all sit in different places, and you just see things different, though.
Yeah. To me, don't blame the pitch. You just don't, do you?
Well, both teams are playing on the same pitch, aren't they? So you can't blame the pitch because if one team wins and one loses, you can't say that was the pitch's fault because the team played on the same pitch. So.
I mean, I know you've probably talked about this, but possibly the worst performance I've ever seen Jake play in that position.
Yeah.
It was just.
It's so, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's so we haven't actually really spoken about that. He is generally just so consistent. Like even if it's not like a sort of 9, 10 out of 10 type performance, you regularly sort of get a solid 7 from him. He's the sort of player that you can normally rely on. And so it was so out of character for him to just be so off it. I was surprised that it took Frank so long to take him off, to be honest. I thought it'd come off much earlier. Because
I don't know what you guys thought. I thought Silva and EMC, they started to link really well, didn't they, down that side? It just looked better, didn't it, going forward? Jake's got a problem. I'll see what you guys think. Jim, go with you first. If you want. I find that when Bidders gets the ball, he's always in a position where he's looking to go that way again, and he never opens his body up. He rarely lets the ball come across him, which instinctively makes you pass it back.
Yeah, I agree on that. I do think we need to strengthen at left back. I mean, and Milan as well. There's no one really to replace him. And Bidwell is normally consistent. But yeah, I agree on that. I think what we could probably do with is another left back and Bidwell and De Silva being understudies really. De Silva for me, although he did play quite well the other night, he gets found out. He's quite small. He gets the ball floated over him. He can be really good going forward, but I think he gets caught out positionally, and a lot of the goals that we've conceded, silly goals, have been as a result of players like himself not marking the man, not being getting to the byline. I just think he gets targeted too much. He's not really much of he's not a defender. He's more like a winger. He's more like a trend kind of player for me.
So Vicky, then going forwards, if you look at the games we've got left, and we were playing 3 at the back, and we were doing it quite well, and we were winning games as well. Then, would you go 3 at the back now just to try and get the wins we need to get us over the line, or do we do 4-3-3 like Frank likes it?
I think the trouble is, I mean, we were talking earlier about how we keep on conceding goals, and whether the 4-3-3 is a problem for that. And I think when you've got like a fully fit team, so you've got like Radoni, EMC, Sakamoto all able to play, and so you're going to be creating lots of chances, you can probably be a bit more like vulnerable at the back, because you're fairly sure you can score more goals than the opposition, and they're going to be defending you. That's the idea, isn't it? You're going for it, so they're so busy trying to defend that they haven't got time to be attacking. But I think depending on how the recovery goes for those sort of for Radoni and EMC, that maybe 5 at the back again, just to shore things up a bit and sort of get some results is an option, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, I'd be tempted.
Yeah, because obviously you could have Jay there and Milan playing out as wing backs.
Yeah.
And what's Binks done wrong as well?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, don't be surprised if he comes in on Saturday.
Yeah.
If he goes for that option as a left back.
There was a time when he was playing Binks and Bobby Thomas, when I thought that's the partnership we need in that centre defence. But it seems that Lampard likes Kitchen. But yeah, I think when Binks has come in, he's often looked quite assured on the ball, and he can bring it out from defence as well, which was really handy when when we didn't have Radoni and when he wasn't playing on the wing, for example, because we had a lot of defensive midfielders sort of in midfield, like Sheaf and Allen and Eccles. Allen Binks could almost bridge that gap between defensive midfield, like Hamer used to do so well.
Yeah, it's frustrating though, is Radoni, isn't it? Because he was playing so well. You just think, why Radoni? That's just so frustrating. So this is Dave Sports Photos. Miles, could you remind us how much please? It's been at least 10 minutes. Dave, it's $1.99. $1.99. I'm sure Dave's laughing at that. I'm sure he is. Ben Green, I want them to bring back some of the late noughties. Cassidy sponsored shirts, had some crackers I want to get my hands on. Yeah, a bit interesting. I'd like to see some old ones, but I said to him, in the shop, you've got stuff now that you can wear out, like the t-shirts as well. It's like the sort of like the Fred Perry style t-shirts that you actually don't look bad when you got them on out. And I think that's what's quite nice. And they're not that expensive, I don't think, either, those ones. The training jackets are brilliant, I think. Yeah, some good stuff there. Gavster Legrand says, I first wore my brown away shirt in 1979 when we lost 7-1 at West Brom. Not been back to the Hawks since.
That's on Good Friday, isn't it, West Brom?
Yeah, I've seen us win there once.
Yeah, they're a tough team, aren't they? They often beat us.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this win there. I can't. I think the best I've seen is a draw.
Yeah. People remind me, going, I've not seen them ever win there. I thought, no, once. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, we beat Swansea and Preston, so you never know.
Well, it's true. But, yeah, in the 70s, they were so powerful when I first started going. We just never got anywhere near them. They looked massive in that kit. I reckon it was the stripes, you know, made them look even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there for that 7-1. Ben Green, anyone else notice the worrying signs when we defend the player attacking down the wing at us? Nobody tends to get out to them and lets them run into the box. Makes me go crazy. We spoke about this, didn't I, last week when I said, because we push up so high, the fullbacks, you're relying on the two centre halves to be really good at defending, which means they've got to go out. They've got to meet these players, or one of the midfielders has to drop in to block it. And we do leave ourselves exposed when we do that.
Yeah.
And you know, well, a classic example was last season when Kitchen got sent off at Blackburn. Basically, we were so exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. I've Paul, Dave Sports photos. He says, "Can you remind him how much the subscription was?"
$1.99. Come on, guys, we've got to get some more likes up there. There's 128 watching on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Come on.
It's because he's been saying it's been 10 minutes and it's been another 10 minutes. Every time he posts it, I keep saying how much it is. Do you know what? Should we do spot the ball winner to win this? Go on then. Because it's nearly 2 hours, isn't it? Yeah, it's just 2 hours. I've shown no photos, by the way, because I don't know what you're showing beforehand. Right, which photos? I don't know. I thought you said there was photos to show. Oh, yeah, here you go. Congratulations to Kai Andrews becoming a Wales international. Congratulations, first team international, with the smallest man in the world, Jay De Silva. Fairness, Miles. Huh? I was on the short list. I'm not even Welsh. Also, we're massive because we're on ITV as well. Hey, not only is it on Sky Sports, it's on ITV4. There you go, on the Friday night. And guess what, guys? There's another game been moved. So it's moved from the Saturday now to the Monday. So if you had plans, you got to change them. So Hull City away on the Monday, live on Sky Sports, 8 p.m. kickoff. Oh, what do you make to that, Jim? Another game moved.
Yeah, it's all about the money, isn't it? All about TV and the Sky now. It's you see it a lot with late games, don't you? For fans having to travel a long way and then getting back on a Saturday night, Sunday night, or really early games. So it's often seems like fans are kind of secondary to the commercial side of it.
Definitely. Did Doug mention anything about the TV at all today?
They asked him because, like the Leeds United game, he says, "Do you think we wanted to play it then? How did we want to play it then? We were made to play it. Basically, really? They wanted it on the. It was on telly, wasn't it? It wasn't telly. Was it on telly?
No, I don't think it was.
No, but they made us play it. Yeah. So,
oh wow.
Because I think Leeds were live the following week on the Monday, weren't they? They said they've got no choices. The trouble said they're paying them. Well, they're calling the shots, aren't they?
Unbelievable. Right, don't forget then, everyone, next Thursday, don't forget to join us, please. If you would, please subscribe to the channel. It's free on YouTube. Just give us a like and subscribe on there. unit will notify you when Marco Morosi will be coming live here on Sky Blue Fans TV. And we are just confirming the date for Matty Godden. He will be joining us. It will be April. We're not sure when, but we're just trying to sort that one out at the moment. If you haven't bought your tickets already for Micky Quinn night, please do get your tickets bought now. Head over to the Walsgrave Working Men's Club or click the link in our YouTube description for your tickets. £10 a ticket. We are hosting it, and there's going to be a quiz and raffle. So that is available. And I do know one of the prizes is going to be a signed book, and the other prize they're working on at the moment, another one, give you a little insight, that same shirt as that, signed by Micky Quinn as well. So so you should be getting some real nice raffle prizes on the night, and I might even tap Jim up for a scarf for a prize as well. Sorry, Jim, I do it live on air, so then you got to say also, if you're coming down to the Moxie Hotel or going down to Plymouth, please come and join us on the Sunday live from the bar. It's going to be great, and then we're going out for a few beers. If you need parking for this Saturday, head over to coventryparking.co.uk. You can get your parking there, and also for away games as well. And if you want coach travel, ccfctravel.co.uk. Right, let's do spot the ball. Spot the ball winner. Okay, here we go. Spot the ball. Haji Wright against Sunderland last season. This season. This season. Numbers 1 to 12. If you are watching on Spotify, have a guess. I know listening on Spotify, have a guess, and it might be fun, mightn't it? You might just guess a number. 1 to 12. Have a little go, and the winner is number 1.
Of course,
number 1.
He's obviously controlling it, isn't he? That's why it's so far away. Touch of a trampoline. There you are.
Oh, blimey. Yeah.
Chat amongst yourselves while I work out if anyone got it right.
Okay, will do. So where can they find you again then, Jim? Tell everyone where they can find your website.
It's takemehomehighfieldroad.com. I'm on Facebook and X as well. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I think, as I say, we'll get this prize off to somebody who's going to win the Spot the Ball tonight. And they are really nice. So if you don't win, then please head over and buy one of these. They're worth it. It's less than 2 pints of beer at the football, which is great. Jim, have you enjoyed yourself tonight? Have you enjoyed coming on?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. So thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Really enjoyed it.
And you can come on anytime, just let us know when you're free. If we need any, we're always getting new people on. It'd be great now you've come on once, just come on as a fan and we'll talk about the games and all that sort of thing. So it's great.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Just while we were talking backstage, weren't we, earlier about that shirt you're wearing? Is that how many have you got in your collection?
I think I've probably got around about 60, something like that.
Oh wow, catching me up then.
Yeah, most of them are originals. Got a few, like Claudia. I got some of the older ones like that. Yeah, if they were original, they'd be worth like loads. But so I've got remakes of those. But yeah, I've got a lot of them. What's
your favourite? Is it that one you're wearing now?
I think my favourite was one that took me the longest to get. And it's it's behind Claudio. It's the yellow 87 Hummel one with the Granada Bingo sponsor. Because that was like that was sort of like the one that I was trying to get for ages. It took me about a year or two to get one in my size and with the sponsor on, and I've got one. So I think that one. But I love a lot of them. I love the pony ones. I love the Dublin. Always reminds me of Dublin. The Peugeot navy blue and sky blue one. Love that one from 87.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick one, but probably that one, probably the yellow one.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult, isn't it, nowadays, especially with the shirts that are coming out. I mean, Hummel are doing a fantastic job, and through the summer we talk about shirts and should we move away from Hummel and things like that, and it does bring back amazing memories, doesn't it? Having your old retro shirts, having your old shirts, it just brings flooding back the memories, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, we got a winner.
There's three correct answers.
Oh, okay. So, Jim, we need you to pick a number between 1 and 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Who's got that?
Steve Curry.
Steve Curry. Right, Steve Curry, you have won this wonderful Take Me Home Highfield Road scarf. If you can email us at skybluefanstv@gmail.com or drop us a message on Facebook or X, and we will send us your address. We will get this scarf out to you hopefully this weekend. Or if you're going to the game Saturday, we could probably meet you outside the ground, and we could hand it over to you so you got it for the game this Saturday. Well, thank you very much. Well done, Jim. What was your name again? Not Jim Curry.
Steve Curry.
Jim Curry. Steve Curry. Oh, blimey. I'm all over the place. Oh, it's been a long week. I've only worked 3 days.
It's a shame. It's a shame Paul didn't win, Claudio. He promised that he was going to wear it in the Sunderland home end and take a photo if he would.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
He got the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Was he coming down? Is he coming down?
No, he was going to wear it. He was going to wear it.
Yeah.
In the home end, which would have been brilliant. Right, so that's it then. We've come to the end of the show. Hope you've all had a wonderful evening. We've really enjoyed it as usual. It's absolutely fantastic to be able to bring these shows to you. And I just want to give a massive shout out again to everyone that come to say hello to us on Tuesday night. It was immense, absolutely immense. The amount of people that said hello. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we love your support. So it goes a long way. Jim, thank you very much once again for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Our pleasure, mate. Our pleasure. Vicky, enjoyed it?
Yeah, always.
Excellent. And Claudio?
Yeah, I feel like I've only done a short. Maybe I should carry on for another hour. I've only done 1 hour. Miles, before you go, Mark Rainbow just asked a question. Is there a subscription? Nobody's mentioned it before. Can you just
Listen, I'm not being funny, but other channels do it all the time. I've been watching YouTube channels all week. I'm only doing what other people do.
You're right. You are. You're right.
And ours, they have special stickers and stuff for when you comment and emojis. I've created them this week, man. Neil Jackson's given me a couple. I don't know. Someone needs to comment if they've joined a membership for $1.99, and you get the special emojis and the.
There's a question from Doug Bolam, actually.
Go on.
Which email are you using, guys? As one you're reading out is different to what's on Facebook.
Shouldn't be. Is it? Oh. No, just do skybluefanstv@gmail.com. Easy. That'll do. Just use that one. It comes through to me.
And Ellis James says, enjoy Sheffield United with £20 you found, Claudio. Can I just say, I've had a haircut. Look.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh, for God's sake. We've got the ticket today. Well, yeah, it's bizarre. Because of the ticketing, I've got an OOP ticket.
Brilliant. Look,
I know.
Can we talk about that on Sunday?
All right,
before we go, have you not got a impression for us this week, Claudio?
No.
I'll leave it to Sunday. Sunday's a big day.
Jim, do you know any impressions?
I'm going to do...
I don't, unfortunately. No, I'll leave it to Claudio.
No, I'm about to do one. No, I'm not. No,
you're not. Yes, Doug Boland, just email me. I'll get it and I'll send it to Ken, and Ken will get you your mug. There you go. And well done to the winner again. Excellent, absolutely brilliant. And Jim, thank you so much for this. Absolutely superb. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of Thursday night. Have a great Friday. And we will see you all on Sunday. Ken will be live and the team will be joining in. They'll be talking all about the great win against Sheffield United. And Sunderland.
You did a Clive Eakin. That's what he said to Lampard. Dear, oh dear.
Sunderland. That's the one. So you can tell we're live, can't you? That's the element then. Honest. And then don't forget, next Thursday, Marco Morosi will be joining us. Oh God, I've got to sort myself out for that one. I don't know what I'm going to be doing then. But yeah, everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. Let's hope we get back to winning ways and cement our spot in that playoffs. A big play up, Sky Blues, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Take care.
Yeah. Play up, Sky Blues.
Sky Blues.
Cheers.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.